So before we start, I will kindly ask you to shortly introduce yourself because not everyone is maybe so well known with all of our brands. So who would like to start?
I can start. So I'm Elsa, I'm CRM manager at Omio. Many of you might remember it as Graeuler. We renamed at the beginning of the year. So we are basically an online travel platform that connects people from a point A to a point B. Basically, we work with bus, train, flight, and ferry providers. And yeah, our main goal is basically make travel easy.
My name is Ori. I'm from Neura, a co-founder and VP product. And Neura basically enhances CRMs with segments and triggers from the real world. Things like avid runner, workaholic, sleep-deprived, frequent traveler, idle at home on the sofa, ready to engage, is what should trigger your message.
Saket.
Hi, I'm Saket. I lead the CRM at LOVOO. LOVOO helps you reduce loneliness, so download the app. And we are a dating app with millions of users, and we are across 10 different countries, 10 plus different countries. And yeah, it's growing.
Hi, I'm Eva. Some of you maybe saw me before, like jumping in, immersing the whole day. I'm from Holidaypirates, so travel deal platform. We basically spotting really good travel offers around all different platforms. So we are not kind of building our own offers. We kind of trying to make the search and inspirational process of the travel shorter and more engageable for the users. We are as well in 10 countries, mainly in Europe and US. So before we speak maybe about innovation, because it's always like the gossip, okay, who is working with whom, what is performing well? It's a little less maybe for Ori directly the question, but yeah, to Elsa, me, on Saket, which channels are you using right now? Which providers? What is the status that the people see a bit as well?
Right, I can take that. So LOVOO is a highly engaged app between people-to-people communication. So we send out over 1 billion pushes every single month, over 40, 50 million emails, and mostly it's user-to-user communication. And when it comes, we're using in-app as well. So to test different experiments and to do onboarding flows. And we have tested App Inbox recently, and it has worked out successfully for us as well. So mostly 4 channels and push, email, in-app, App Inbox, and a lot of to do with segmentations and behavioral analytics.
So at Omio, we have 3 main channels on CRM, which are email, push, and in-app. So now it's an exciting moment, actually, because we are integrating web push as well. And we are integrating also in-app feed or news feed, like a news feed section where we will also store some content, and we will be treating it as a CRM channel. Also for customer service purposes, we also have chat box. So these are the main channels we are currently working, and the idea behind is to not only have more channels to spam users more and more, but it's more about, we are really trying to have the user journey covered in as more channels as possible, because, for example, we have some users that don't have the app, so we cannot reach them by push notifications, so then it's better to reach them by email, etc., etc. So the project we are currently working on is a lot about having an intelligent delivery of each channel. So basically based on user behavior, we understand that some users might open emails but not open push. So they will be reached by email channel and not by others. And yeah, etc. The same with web push and push, no? So yeah, this is what we are currently working at Omio.
From us, yeah, what a surprise. The standard ones, of course, email push, with travel alerts. What is kind of differentiate us from quite many companies is WhatsApp. We are using as well WhatsApp for reaching out to our users. and especially sending them really, really very wow deals. So not spamming them as tends to be said about marketing, but basically some offers that people really don't tend to believe they are really real ones. That was very, very successful channel for us. I'm saying was, it still is, but right now there are the changes as well that we needed to in long term stop to use it. That was workaround. WhatsApp never allowed that, and it's not only for us. Many companies who has or will have this issue. So we as well now checking or starting for, of course, web pushes with some other options, how we can find or move some of those users to other channels that don't prefer to have, for example, push messages or emails as a subscribers. So speaking about innovations, or Elsa, you start already to saying that you concentrate not on more channel, more intelligent way of using it. What do you think we could share with the users ideas or innovations of trying out?
Well, I think CRM is evolving a lot, no? So like before it was really about maybe spamming users and more like content related. Now it's becoming more tech, and we are really working with data and with engineers to have like the best automation as possible and also the best experience as possible. So definitely was one of the things is making CRM something valuable for the user and not trying just to convert them in the fastest way. So really being a channel that helps the user to get what he wants. So for that, that's why we are really trying to work with a better segmentation and a better personalization. So for example, personalizing the channels that we send, and also personalizing the experience based on, like, for example, the searches they do, like also analyzing like what products exactly they like, and trying to predict this behavior for the future, no, and base our CRM on that.
I think Ori as well had.
So I totally agree with your approach. As you said, more channels does not mean more messages and more notification fatigue. It means hyper-personalization and adapting to my need as a user. And this is actually what users respond and react to. And in our case, when we kind of observed 1.6 billion messages and tried to understand what matters most, we realized that there is one segment that has been ignored, and that is availability. The user is available to engage. He's not in a meeting, he's not driving, he's not in a supermarket. And this is a dynamic type of segment. So dynamic segment is a place for that I believe we'll see a lot of innovation in CRM in the upcoming years. And I also see you trying to adapt to each user's behavior. And I think that this is another trend. Adapting to what the user needs or the user prefers has much more impact on the results of a campaign than adapting to what we want as a brand.
Right. For LOVOO, like since we do so many communication, so I would put it boil down to three things. One is doing behavior-based communication, be it push, email, in-app, depending on the part of the customer lifecycle the user is in, and the way the user is interacting with the product. One. The second, so we do a lot of behavioral segmentation over there, understand the different journeys and help them grow, monetize, and engage with other users. The second is once we have understood, when to send those notifications, we have tested a lot of RFM, recency frequency monitoring, depending on when those gifters are sending gifts, or how frequently are they sending gifts, what is the monetary value, where do they fall, and then automated campaigns for those kind of users to drive monetization, engagements, stuff like that. And the third is find out which channel is user most interacting with to drive what result. So this can be if the user doesn't have push notification enabled, then are you sending email? If the user has email blocked, then if the user comes into the app, are you incentivizing to turn on push notifications and so on and so forth? So not just about what channel you're using, but how you're using it, that makes a difference.
I would fully agree. I had some conversation, not directly in our company maybe, but in general with CRM crowd, and there were different ideas speaking about Slack or speaking about as a channel for using for pushes on bots or Facebook messengers. Some people tried out. So far, yeah, we can have a Q&A session later, but to be honest, I didn't hear any success story yet, really, that should convince me to say, okay, it makes sense really to try it out. But yeah, it's from part of this stuff, it's maybe beginning. We need to still wait a bit, but I agree, it's more about making better what we have and more smart than finding 5 another channel, adding them. Speaking about more operational level, so of course we have optimizing the channels. How is the daily work, the task, and what kind of innovation can be brought there?
So yeah, like definitely this is something I was mentioning before. No, CRM is becoming very tech. It's been having a big evolution in the last years. So currently at Omio, we are really trying to work in automation, in better segmentation, and also reducing manual work. Because, for example, in our company, we work in 20 different languages. So, and we are just 3 people in the team right now. We are getting bigger, but still 3. So it comes from a need, I guess. But we are really trying to innovate and automate as much as we can. So, for example, one of the tech integrations we had recently, some months ago, was actually creating an API connected content where we call the content we have stored in our editorial tool, where we have all the copies in all the different languages, and it's an API call that goes directly to our CRM tool, Braze. So by doing that, we reduce like 80% our manual operational work. So right now, for example, just by adding a small key in the email, an email that can look like this, we can have like 20 languages. No? So for example, I think this is one of the tech integrations that really made our life much easier and really helped to really focus on the things that CRM should be focusing on. No? So for example, integrating segmentation and really working on personalizing the content. So yeah, I think this was like one of the greatest integrations we had.
And one of the biggest challenges for us, like 2 years after Neura started, we went into the market and we said, hey, we have 60 human-driven segments and 60 triggers that are moments in your day. And we gave it to marketers, and then we found them trying to cluster and pick out of 2.4 million combinations. And that was the solution for that, was actually a development of a layer that learns from every action that's being taken and does that automatically. So instead of costing more HR, just cancels a few heads.
Right. For us, so I've seen CRM like growing from 1 person to a lot more, many more. So, but what has really helped us is like the processes that we use in order to automate things. That's number 1. Like every person in the team tends to learn more about the users, and what insights are we driving from the users to actually drive them to a particular goal or action. Second thing is about are you doing enough experiments like A/B testing? Not A/B testing doesn't mean like just word changes, but really like whether this idea would be successful or not. And if you're doing it, are you doing it based on hypothesis, and what are the outcomes are you trying to drive from that, and are you productizing that? So that's second. And third is like when we do things, we like have a goal in mind, and that success parameters, have we met that success parameters? And if we are doing like campaigns or stuff like that, we are seeing that is it creating an impact on the hypothesis that we had. And we're trying to just like do more stuff by choosing small segments, and to drive more automated stuff. Yeah.
I would definitely add to that as well. Like it maybe sounds very strictly cutting the people, like Ori mentioned, because we find a way automatize. I think you will never be ready with the optimizing and automatizing stuff. I can tell only simple example mentioning our offers that basically, yes, you have offer for Mallorca or some other destination, and you tag them manually. That's for people who write them to be able to combine it in database, use it for other places, and simple tool like setting up similar tags. Mallorca, yes, then maybe party, beach, something else, that automatic tags additionally help us to use this in many different places, and not only CRM, and not save times the editors. And for our case, it doesn't mean, okay, the people would lose the job. Basically, they can write more offers or find different offers. So I assume in your case was similar. But generally, the automatization, I think, is still, when I'm looking or talking to many companies, far away of that what would be possible with technologies we are actually already having in the place. And speaking maybe about the buzzwords on very popular word, personalization. What is your thoughts about that in terms of CRM and innovation? Roughly, we kind of mentioned that already, but someone to add on that?
So personalization is thing that the buzzword has been for a while now, right? So it's something that can go wrong very easily. Like I give you like so many times you must have got like pushes or emails where deep linking is broken. Like, and this is such a common thing where your deep link is broken, and that even if you have tried your best thing to personalize with name, behavior, and all that, but if you're not driving it to that action and your deep link is broken, it's just broken, right? So personalization boils down to, again, as to not just like user attributes that you're using, like gender, age, name, username, like with the places the person visits, etc. But also it boils down to when are you sending that message to that particular user that most likely is gonna interact with that particular message. And then personalization is also like I'm a strong believer is like less is more. So do give less content, but like have can be visual content, but can be like less content, but produce meaningful results through that. And I would say using user attribute, time-based segmentations, audience analytics, doing a lot of experiments, learning from your experiments, and then iterating on that.
Yeah, I totally agree with Saket. Yeah, I think personalization is something great, and it's something that we really need to keep working on, not only on CRM, but also collaborating with BI, data science teams to have it better and better. But at the same time, we need to use it smartly, no? So like, we have a lot of data of the users, and I think it's very important to use it in a smart way, because it's personalization and creepiness can be very close to each other. So it's just a matter of understanding what works and what can be very creepy. Like, for example, at Omio, we could, I don't know, say like, we know you searched for a trip to Mallorca 7 times in the last 30 days and you didn't, you know, like there is many ways of using that. So definitely there is a lot to do, also action-based and timing-based, but yeah, always being careful of how you're doing it.
Absolutely. I think that, brands that wanted to personalize were using, hey, let's put the user's name into the message, or good morning, we know it's morning, or you haven't been in. And that is all creepy. And actually, if we look at the experiences that we love the most, that we never leave, they are just magically blending into our life. And they're giving whatever message would be, even strip out all of the attributes that we know. We don't really need to show them to the user, but maybe had we known that in the end of a long workday, I'm arriving home, I want a healthy meal, didn't have time to cook today. Long day, huh? A healthy meal can wait for you at home. Yes, boom. And that's all we need. We don't need to show the user what we know about the user, We just need to be there at the right time with something that the user really needs. And if this is the mindset that we start thinking with, then success is immediately showing results.
Thank you. So we have still like 3 or 4 minutes for questions. I don't know if there are some in the audience. Yes, please.
How will you handle the switch from the WhatsApp list to your email list or whatever?
We're not planning to switch it to email. We basically have different ideas. We didn't decide on all of them. We definitely want to try to convince some of them for a web push, which is kind of the easiest way to go for, and ask as well. I'm head of product, so maybe as well kind of user-oriented, asking them what they would prefer and then see, because there are gossips, okay, maybe makes sense Telegram in some countries. We don't have a right answer yet, but that's what it's right now at the table, and we're still analyzing or asking users as well. So definitely we do not expect we will kind of have smoothly switch to one or another channel. No, that's nothing what we plan or want to actually do. The channel was used in different way. You cannot switch them to newsletter because it was really for WoW offers. So newsletter was used for us more for the regular newsletter and more offers that users kind of used to click on, and a little behavioral as well, but wasn't this really particular one a day a deal, which is the most wow deal. So what's channel, because WhatsApp is very personal. So I would not say there is directly some replacement, maybe Telegram one on another country which is more popular. But that's what we actually as well asking users, and there we don't have still directly answer, but there will be not directly switch because you cannot take, the numbers, and you still need to opt in again, and it's kind of a risk we take some time ago, but it was very kind of good for us and still is, and we think users love our offers. So if we listen to them as well where they want to get them, then we can make the transition as well.
WhatsApp is an amazing channel when it comes to personalization, because you feel that you're chatting with one individual. It's not a group, it's not a forum or anything that is more public. And one of our customers that uses Braze as well is basically conversing. It's a well-being use case, and they want to drive people to take action, like go for a run or complete a treatment that they have to complete. And there is a bot that engages and converses with the individual through WhatsApp. And it's the same, and it's basically a backup bot for a real human. So when the bot understands that blue screen, then a real human blends in and the conversation continues. And that they managed to do this integration directly into WhatsApp, and it feels real.
Are there some other questions? Okay, so thank you guys for attending.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.